Easy Crew. So something a bit different in this one. Doing a bit of a recreation of a setup I used to use. Don't ask me why. Something I wanted to do, really. So going back to the late 90s, my studio was these three machines. You got an Akai DPS-12, you got a little mini disc player there, and the MC307. Now, the mini disc player I used to gather samples on, whether it was from the microphone doing field samples or just from records, samples, CDs, all that kind of business. And here's a little picture of some janky setup I had once. You'll see I had a bit of a PC going on there as well. That was mostly at that point just for processing sounds in SoundForge. So yeah, I fell on some hard times. I had to move out of that little room, moved in with my sister and her fella, and it was a bit rough. I didn't want to impose on them. I used to go out and sit in my little car, go and park in different spots. Sad times. And I finally managed to get a job interview, and I didn't have any money to get to the interview, so I ended up pawning my Akai DPS-12 there and a little set of tabla drums as well. And I never got it back. Now, it wasn't so much of a problem at the time because I'd managed to get a cracked copy of Reason to run on that PC you saw in the background there. Don't judge me. You know, what are you going to do? If someone offers you a copy of something and you haven't got it, what can I say? Not that I condone it. All right, I've bought my software now. Anyway, moving on. So about a year ago, I saw an Akai DPS-12 for sale on eBay and put a bid on it and ended up winning it. Now, it was quite a nice machine, the DPS-12. To be honest, in hindsight, I probably should have got an MPC. I don't know what the price point was on that. You know, maybe I couldn't afford it. I know that the DPS-12 was attractive to me because I initially, when I bought it, was looking at recording more live music with it, and so that's why I got it. But it had enough functions to copy, paste. You could set a grid, obviously you could sample, there was time stretching, there were effects in there. So I used to make it work by sampling chunks of either the MC307 or, like I said, samples from the mini disc, and then I would paste and arrange on the little screen. As you can see, there's the screen was pretty functional. There's a fair bit of detail in there that you can get stuck into. So when it arrived, I powered it up and noticed that the screen had the classic burnout that you see on a lot of older Akai machines, MPCs especially, and the seller hadn't told me that, but it was a bit late in the day. I don't know, I didn't end up sending it back. But then I saw a video of someone repairing one of these screens on YouTube and thought I'd give that a shot. So turns out that what burns is the polarizing film that sticks onto the screen, and you can actually just scrape that off, give it a good clean up and put a new piece on and you're good to go again. So I did that, gave it a shot, but sadly the screen never worked again. So that's been put to one side in pieces. The MC307 has a broken transport button, which, having a look online, I've found you can buy them, but sadly this shop is out of stock. So I'm going to put that one on hold for a sec. And yeah, just dig into having a go at fixing this mini disc. So let's give it a shot. All right, so here she is. Not a bad looking little unit. Not too many scrapes. Still looking shiny and nice. And here's the mini disc, an unwrapped one. This used to be the thing. So I'll tell you what, let's unwrap this, shall we? Bit of an unwrapping for you. I know some people like this kind of thing. Let's just unwrap this fresh. How'd you get into this thing? Oh, here we go. There's a little tab. Whoa, look at that. Look at the sheen on that. Lovely. And yeah, that's what you got with a mini disc. I always liked them, thought they were pretty cool. They had lots of functions, you could record onto them. Obviously the compression was pretty good, I thought so anyway. And you could move things around, name songs. Here's one of mine, as you can see, it says backup and beats. And that's where I was at with the whole thing. We'll chuck a battery in this one and I'll show you what's going down. So let's power this baby up. Hopefully you can see the screen. It's reading the table of contents. You see there it says can't read. Can't read. Obviously there's no disc in there at the moment, but normally I'm pretty sure the message would be different. We'll chuck a disc in and you'll see I'm getting the same message. See, look, it even says hello to us. So cool. There we go, can't read. Now I can feel something's happening inside, something's whirring, so it's trying. But I guess the only way to, sort this out is to take it apart. So that's what we're going to do. Now I've sped this up because otherwise it would be too long. We'll start just by taking some screws out, shall we? It's normally a good place to start. I did see a video where someone had to sort of pull this bit out in order to get in there, but I can't see how it comes off, so I'm just going to carry on taking screws out. Now, yeah, I thought it might be a good idea to get the old mat out so I can keep these screws safe. This track in the background is something I abandoned. All right, look, here we are. We're inside. So this is the mechanism. I think the laser is actually underneath. And this obviously moves across in order to read the disc. And there's a little gear at the back, which I've seen is quite a common problem for these mini disc players, for the gear actually to crack, and I'm hoping that isn't the case here. I wonder if I put this battery back in, if we'll see any action, might shine a light for us. Let's give it some power. No. Unfortunately, I think it knows that the lid's open and it's not going to do anything. Now at this point, it actually looks fine. I mean, it looks like the mechanism is moving. Or maybe it's just moving enough. It could still be slipping. So while it's open, I'm just going to give everything a good clean up. We'll give the laser a clean. So I'm going to throw a picture up. It should be coming up on the screen now. That's the cog. And I had actually taken all of the mechanism apart. And it's possible that the little gear had just kind of, when I dropped it, it had come away and wasn't quite making contact with the other gear. So while it's open, I'll give it a bit of grease, just get it lubed up and ready to go. Alright, now I'm just moving this gear again, and yeah, it looks like it's moving. I mean, maybe all it needed was a little nudge and a good old cleanup. I can't see anything else kind of bent or fallen off. Well, I reckon we should just chuck this back together and see if we're good, you never know. All right, fast forward, here we are. It's all back together. This is the moment of truth, folks. Power. And, oh, it's only gonna do it. Yes. That's lovely. So we might as well chuck in one of these discs and see what I was up to. All right, now I remember this.
The music just turns.
This is literally just rinsing a sample CD. I can't remember which one. But a friend of mine had a load of sample CDs and I'd been over to his place, sampled a bunch onto the mini disc and then chucked them in the DPS 12 and just had a play about. But obviously you can hear how it was possible to arrange samples into something that sounded like a piece of music. And, you know, although it wasn't a full-on sequencer as such, it was definitely enough for me to put some demos and pre-productions together. You'd struggle a bit sequencing single hits, although it was possible, but it's not what it was designed for. Definitely alright with loops, or just taking things from a kick or a snare. So I guess I will get busy going through my discs and backing up samples. There was one in particular I was looking for. I used to sample a lot from the TV back then. And I think the next step will be the Akai DPS 12. We'll try and get that one fixed, get that screen going again. But yeah, until next time, folks, check you later.